Thanks for taking a minute, and grateful for your contribution and seeking to stand in the gap to try to connect people in community in order to reach your community Christ. Those of you that are small group pastors or volunteers of small group ministries in local churches, this message is specifically targeted for you. After serving in that role at multiple churches and then partnering with hundreds and hundreds of the largest and fastest growing churches in the country, trying to figure out the small group thing, I share your pain in a sense. I understand the ups and downs and sideways of trying to get to the senior pastor, of not having resources in a budget to be able to do much, of trying to do church-wide campaigns and then nothing happens afterwards, trying to do leader training when they're not coming back, or launch a coaching structure that doesn't seem to be sustaining. People aren't returning the calls. Trust me, I've experienced all of the blood on my hands and the ups and downs. There's three things, though, that I want to introduce to you that I think may be a tool that may serve you guys. The first one is for years, the last 25 years, we've really offered kind of premium consulting to a handful of local churches. But way back when I first started, we were coaching, doing group coaching with churches that was serving a great both purpose and an opportunity for me to learn personally. We've decided to go ahead and roll that back out with what are a half a dozen or so coaching programs that we can either have in a group format or a one-on-one format, but it's a bit more Skype. It's not necessarily on-site like some of the other coaching programs that we are doing. You'll notice down below a link to what is a description of those things, and if to the degree that you're open or interested in wanting to jump into either our group or one-on-one kind of coaching model, love to be able to have you join us. It's going to be one in particular that I'm going to be a part of, so that we can just learn and continue to discover and crack codes together on how to do small group ministry better. So if you're kind of a person that's been way down the road or you're just getting started, we've got them for both of those two extremes. The second is if you and your church has ever produced a video-based curriculum and or a print curriculum that is actually aligned with your pastor's sermon series that really did well, God used in a great way, it's close to the heart of the pastor in terms of a life message, we're actually partnering with a handful of churches either to add video to the print or to take the video and maybe step up the print a little bit and kind of republishing it in a sense, and then taking those sermon series, producing a campaign kit and making it available to other churches around the country that are like-minded in your tribe and our tribe, of which we've got about 35,000 churches that have bought curriculum from us or have done campaigns, etc. Our primary audience is someone like yourself or a senior pastor that wants to figure out how do they do their next fall or their new spring or their new quarter or semester or major church-wide campaign. They're looking for the next razor blade, mind you. I'm in the studio right now that used to be the offices for Lifetogether. Rick Warren now uses this as his studio to be able to produce his 40-day campaigns and all kinds of other things in this very studio that he just finished his latest one, which is 40 Days of Prayer, which if you haven't done that, you might want to introduce that to your church. And I'm just finding that so many churches have learned how to do church-wide campaigns, and they're learning how to do and produce video-based curriculum, of which that's one of the coaching programs we're offering to show you how to do that kind of thing, whether it's on an iPhone or cinema quality cameras like we're doing in here and have done today with several churches. But all that to say, if you are open to be able to hear more and to be able to make yours available, go ahead and fill in the survey down below. Give us a link to what might be the PDF or one of the video series online, and maybe we could see if you guys could be one of the candidates that we're going to launch in the new year, along with a bunch of the other stuff that we've done and produced for local churches. So we really kind of want to be campaign central, and to the degree that as you watch this, you're in a mode of doing that or have done that, simply give us a jingle. Love to be able to at least explore a next step. The last thing I want to tell you about is not just the coaching or the licensing, but is something that's brand new, which is publishing. And after doing, consulting at, kind of a premier kind of a model with some of the larger and faster growing churches, and then doing production at kind of a high level, we're going into a mode where we're backing up into something that we used to do, which was to do formal publishing of video curriculum and church-wide campaigns with major Christian publishers and parachurch ministries, of which we've done about $6 million in those kinds of contracts, from Focus on the Family to Zondervan to every one of the, many of the major Christian publishers. So we're going to go back into publishing, and we're going to partner with local churches to produce a video curriculum where we're going to pay for, or we're going to pay in part and partner with the local church to make something available to the church, also that could be made available outside the church to those that are in our kind of curriculum and campaign buying audience. So we're kind of candidating a few churches that might be interested in the publishing model, and to the degree that you're interested in that, there's more information down below. Also in the survey, we'll hear a little bit more who you are and what your story is, and if this might be a good candidate for you guys. We're kind of picking about a dozen churches that we're going to launch for the new year, and if you're receiving this, you're probably a candidate for that in one way or the other. But I just want to say thanks for your role and your commitment to wanting to connect people in community in order to reach your community for Christ. I share in that dream of waking up wanting to connect people and go to bed at night or stay up at night trying to help reach our community. I just believe there's so much that's coming that's new, but I look forward to being able to connect with you, share with you more, and hear a little bit more of what God's doing at your place. Until then, blessings. Thanks again.